Friends, welcome to this episode of Chhattisgarh Christian Forum's views which we are presenting to you. What you are seeing on on the screen over here is the fierce jubilation that had gone on the 26th of April when a church was inaugurated in Sukma. This is a tribal church and it has got a long history which I'll take some time in explaining to you why this massive jubilation took place. So I take you back in history to the year 2013. And 2013, what now you are seeing on my screen is the first church which was hardly about 20 square feet, which was built by the tribals over there. And there was a small congregation of say around 20 people who used to go and pray over there, and it was a very peaceful atmosphere. What happened is that now what happened at that particular moment was that the church was attacked for no good reason. It was not disturbing anybody. There was no case of any conversion. Few families, they had started believing in Christ and they had built up their own church over there, and that is how the things were going on over there. Now what you are seeing over here is the church had been vandalized, was broken for no rhyme or reason. And the interesting part was that land it was a personally owned land which was owned by one of the villagers. But yes, he was in the Christian faith, and it was on his personal land that that church was built. And on that personal land, a small congregation of people used to pray over there, and that was bulldozed and razed. And it was razed by the government as well as the vandals. All the vandals were present over there. They one day came with a bulldozer. They bulldozed the whole building down. Now, when this thing came up for hearing, of course, they were heartbroken, they were totally disturbed. Then we moved the state government, and this is what you are seeing on the screen now is an order by the Nayab Tehsildar. Very clearly it says that Khasra number 524 belongs to the Christian person on which the church was built. Then he issues a stay order that rebuilding of that church will take place. And on a back date, he also issues a notice. We had raised a problem over there that before bulldozing or asking for anything, you should have gone in for giving a notice. And since the notice was not given, what was the rhyme or reason for the government to come and bulldoze the church over there? Why was the proper rule of the law was not followed? That was the questions we raised. So these government officials started running helter-skelter because there was no notice issued. So on a back date, what you are seeing on my screen is the order given by the Tehsildar on a back date. And it was forcefully made. The villagers were forced to receive it under the threat of the police, and wiped out all the evidences and everything of not following the particular rule of the Revenue Act. So this is what happened over there, and till date, this is about say 2013 to 2010 years. And after 10 years also that case is still pending, and now the files go missing. So that was the history of the church when it was broken down. When the church was broken down, a lot of press people came down upon it, and what you are seeing is here it is written, Christians decry the demolition of church. This was carried out by the Times of India, and many leading papers had carried out that government should not have gone into such a sort of destruction or demolition of structures without following the proper course of law. So these were picked up by those things. Then what happened is that the Frontline magazine also made up a big story about the whole issue. They picked it up, and after picking up, they came up with startling issues that the Christians are being marginalized, how they are being how their fundamental rights, their basic rights are being taken away from them. Their right to even pray or assemble. You see in these photographs which you see over here now is that all the villagers are sitting under a tree and still praying. And the whole thing happened that once the church was vandalized and broken down, the people who were in the nearby villages, they also got anxious. What's going on? So they started coming in, they started attending the church under the tree, and that is how the growth of the church took place. It had got nothing to do with religious conversion. People felt, yes, something wrong has been done against this particular community, and that's how these people started coming together, and this is how the whole villagers near about. All these people, they came together. These are the tribal people who came together, and they were quite aghast at the way the things have been going around, and they started supporting those people who had been oppressed against. These villagers who had been oppressed, these people, the villagers joined them to see that justice is meted out to them. And now what you are seeing is the Times of India, which has reported these things. Then we have the Hindu, which has reported these things. This is on my screen, you could see it. And any other information required, we will be able to send it to you. And these are the English presses from the national press, which had covered the whole issue. Now what happened is that we had a desk over here in Chhattisgarh of the Tehelka magazine. Here you are seeing this Tehelka magazine. This is the magazine which I can't read the dates, but on that date this magazine was taken out. Tehelka magazine covered this whole issue in detail, and they came out with the findings. There was a search report which went around, and they found out, yes, that this is an organized crime against a community. And the only reason for them is that because they believed in Christianity. Tehelka magazine has also very clearly issued, carefully worded the whole issue that because they believed in Christianity. This was the thing, because it was only a matter of belief. There was no religious conversion which was ever involved in this particular episode. This was the thing. This is how the buildings broke down. This is how the church was vandalized. And when the issues were raised before the government, before the chief minister, and before so many people and so many authorities, they all came up with a single reply: we damn care about your right to religion. What we say is going to happen over here. And that was the date, and that was the time that we took up the battle with a full force, that we will see to it that we get our rights, we achieve our fundamental rights. Then these people, all the villagers got together, believing in Christ and not believing in Christ, and they started building up the church. When there was a huge collection of people over there, a lot of tribals, when they started coming over there, the present minister for excise minister, respected Kawasi Lakhma ji, he allotted a land over there in the village where you are again seeing these celebrations taking place. So this was the land which was allotted by this thing, and then we received a lot of promises from a lot of people from here and there, but ultimately it was the villagers themselves who collected very meager amount of money from their own funds, from their own pockets, and they started this huge building over there, which is now covers around 5,000 square feet of land had been allotted, and out of that the seating capacity of that particular church is 2,000 people can sit together. And the main cause of jubilation in that particular incident is because people of all castes, all communities, especially tribals who believe in Christ and who don't believe in Christ, people who believe in Devguda and people who don't believe in Devguda, they had all gathered together and they celebrated because they saw that the tribal brothers and sisters who had been oppressed against, now they are free to practice their own religion in their own way. So this is the history of the Sukma church, which on the 26th April had taken, there was a big function over there, and they kept and danced for the whole night, for 3 days and 3 nights. So fundamentally that jubilation was the success of the tribals against the oppressors. Upon the highest, upon the people who belong to the higher caste or who don't want to see that, especially the Adivasis, the tribals, that the freedom is not, it not seeps down to them. That was the reason. So that was, it was a sort of a freedom struggle where they exercised their rights, which has been guaranteed in the Constitution. So now, with a lot of thankfulness to each and everyone, and especially the government and everyone, we have seen to it that if united we stand, we have got a chance to suppress the oppressors. We have got a chance to establish our constitution. We have got a chance to establish our rights. We have a chance to demand what we should legally be getting from these things. Though we have not been able to do much against the, especially the government people who have been going off the normal course and to suppress one particular thing, one particular group of people, one particular tribe. That's worrisome, very worrisome. And because now, because our basic human rights are being trampled upon, it is a that the time has come when the whole world has to stand up and take note that ultimately what's happening. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Please do subscribe to this channel, Chhattisgarh Christian Forum, and press the bell icon, and you will be getting a lot of ground reports. And this is only the first part where we are only reporting the persecution. Now, after these episodes, we will come to you with solutions that what can be done, how can the civil society stand up, how can we resist all this operation, how we can build up a free and fair India. That is all to you. I thank you all very much for having given your precious time for watching this particular episode. Thank you once again, and please watch out for our next episode. Jai Bharat, Jai Chhattisgarh.